What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the Brentford Liverpool post-match reaction and analysis video. I'm absolutely fuming after one of the worst performances of the whole season by Liverpool. It's an absolute disgrace how Liverpool defended in this game. Brentford scored 5 goals against Liverpool, 5 goals, 3 of them counted, 2 was offside. So on another day this could have been an absolute hiding, an absolute thrashing by Brentford, who have the second lowest budget in the Premier League, and I think the players of Brentford are on the second lowest wages. So there is absolutely literally no excuse for Liverpool to lose against them. Huge credit goes to Brentford and their manager for beating Manchester City and Liverpool in the first half of this Premier League season, and they are now almost already staying up and safe in the Premier League, and they were unlucky not to beat Tottenham a few days ago. And Liverpool could have been just 1 point behind the top 4 had they won this game. But after Liverpool starting the game well, the first 10-15 minutes we were brilliant. Darwin Núñez missed another absolute sitter. This guy is literally the unluckiest striker at the moment, and the goals will come for Darwin Núñez. I'm convinced of that, but it might come too late for Liverpool, the Darwin Núñez goals, to salvage the top 4. At the moment Liverpool are not good enough to even finish in the top 4. Defensively, we are all over the place. 4 corners Brentford scored from. 4 corners. Can you believe that? 2 of them counted, but to score from 4 corners against Liverpool, that's unacceptable. 1 or 2 years ago, Liverpool were literally one of the best teams from set pieces, both scoring goals and defending set pieces. Liverpool were one of the best teams, but this defending is reminiscent of Jurgen Klopp's early days at Liverpool, and this is a huge problem for Liverpool. One midfielder signing will improve things, but it won't solve the biggest problem at Liverpool, which is, of course, 2 things. We have the biggest injury crisis in the Premier League. Liverpool have the most games missed through injuries by any team at this point in a Premier League season. So no team previously in Premier League history has had the players missing as many games as Liverpool had. That's one problem, too many injuries, and that disrupts the team, and that disrupts, I mean, you look at Naby Keita's performance. At halftime Naby Keita came on for Harvey Elliott, and by the way, this was the first time I felt Jurgen Klopp had the balls to substitute Virgil van Dijk at halftime. He was literally never before substituted at halftime, Virgil van Dijk, in his Premier League career, in like 220 games. Harvey Elliott was a shambles. He shouldn't have started this game at all. I think Jurgen Klopp realized that mistake, because Harvey Elliott doesn't have the legs, the intensity, the defending ability, and also the composure to play against a high intensity. Brentford were pressing Liverpool all over the pitch in the first half, and Harvey Elliott lost the ball so many times. But it's literally like unacceptable how easy it was for Brentford to score when they had a corner against Liverpool. It was literally a big chance every time Brentford took a corner in the first half. I mean, Liverpool got away with it because Brentford scored 1 goal from a corner. Fabinho fails to head the ball clear. It hits Konate's leg and goes in. But then Brentford scored 2 other goals from corners, which were both ruled out for offside. But then, just a minute after the second disallowed goal, I think, Harvey Elliott tries to dummy the ball. He loses it, and Brentford go down the other end, cross it to the back post, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, yes, he should have cleared it, but he had 2 players on him at the back post. Brentford were literally playing very similar tactics to last season, where Brentford played a 3-3 draw against Liverpool, and they took the lead 3 times in that game, and Liverpool were actually lucky that they drew that game. Jurgen Klopp didn't learn from that. Brentford played with the exact same tactics in the first half, and Liverpool didn't cope with that, and that's also on the manager. I really love Jurgen Klopp, but he got the team selection wrong today, some of the tactics wrong, but also the biggest problem, apart from injuries for Liverpool, is this Liverpool team feels like it's the end of an era, the end of a cycle. Too many of the players they feel old, they feel slow, they feel like they can't really cope with this high intensity approach that Jurgen Klopp wants the Liverpool teams to have. And also some other teams, They just walk through our midfield so easily. Leicester City and Brentford, not the best teams in the Premier League by any stretch of the imagination, yet they play through the Liverpool midfield so easily. It's embarrassing, it's a shambles, it's a disgrace. I'm absolutely fuming here because Liverpool should have solved this issue in the summer by signing a world-class midfielder. When Tchouaméni said no to Liverpool, Liverpool had 2 months of the transfer window left. And yet we thought we need no midfielders. That's arrogance of the highest order, and that includes Jurgen Klopp as well. Jurgen Klopp said in the first few weeks of the transfer window in the summer, Liverpool don't need midfielders, we have enough numbers, we have enough midfielders. That's arrogance of the highest order. And if Jurgen Klopp is really honest in his pre-match press conference, he said he trusts the players right now and we don't need anyone. We don't need to sign anybody in the change transfer window. If he really thinks that, then he's deluded and he's wrong. Because Liverpool definitely need a midfielder signing, but that alone won't solve the problem of literally half of this Liverpool team is not good enough anymore. Half of them can't run as much as it is required for this Jurgen Klopp tactic of high intensity, high pressing football. And if the players can't do it, either you change the tactics, you change the system, or you change the players. And I don't think Jurgen Klopp wants to change the tactics. I don't think he wants to change this high intensity approach. So Liverpool need to change players, and that will take a lot of time, and I feel a lot of painful seasons until Liverpool get it right, unless we will have new owners with massive amounts of investment. Because right now I don't trust FSG to spend hundreds of millions of pounds. As I'm watching the game, there is literally a journalist reporting that Chelsea agreed a deal with Benfica for Enzo Fernandez. That's literally the signing that Liverpool should be making right now. I don't care what anybody says. Liverpool should be bringing in a world-class midfielder right now who can galvanize this team. And I feel Jurgen Klopp trusts some of these players a little bit too much, because Harvey Elliott starts second game in a row against Leicester. Leicester ran through our midfield. Brentford ran through our midfield in the first half, and Harvey Elliott was, he's a great player, but he's not ready to start week in, week out, twice, 3 times a week. We can't expect Harvey Elliott to cover for Trent when Trent is bowing forward, and also to cover for Salah when Salah is going in the middle. We can't expect Harvey Elliott to overlap Salah sometimes when Salah is cutting in on his left foot. We can't expect Harvey Elliott to track back and cover the space that Trent vacates, because he's not really a defensive midfielder. He's a really brilliant attacking midfielder, number 10. He's not really even a winger. So right now Harvey Elliott should be on the bench and Naby Keita should start. And Naby Keita was, I thought, quite brilliant, even though he lost the ball before Brentford scored the third goal. There is a huge debate going on whether it was a foul or not. I think personally, if you are a player or a person who played football and you know that when you are sprinting in full with the ball and somebody pushes you in the back, even the slightest push can get you off balance and you can fall over. Don't give me that nonsense that Konate was a pushover there and Konate was soft. When you are sprinting with a full pelt and you get a push, sometimes you lose your balance very easily because you are sprinting at full speed. And Konate falls over and Mbeumo scores the third goal. It's 3-1. And what is really, really worrying is that many Liverpool players gave up after the 3-1. And there were still 6 minutes to go plus 6 minutes of stoppage time. So there was literally 12 minutes to get 2 goals and to get Liverpool at least a point. But half of the Liverpool players couldn't be arsed to track back anymore. And that's a really big issue in my opinion, because that means that the Liverpool players don't have that mentality of going all the way until the last minute. And that's really a worrying thing in my opinion. And Jamie Carragher said this: Liverpool have had problems all season against teams who are physical. When the game has intensity, they can't cope. Liverpool, they can't cope with that anymore at this moment. It looks like an aging team coming to the end, and that's why we want new owners. That's why we need FSG to sell Liverpool, because FSG won't fund an overhaul of this Liverpool team, because we literally need 250-300 million pounds. But that sounds a lot, yes. But Arsenal are spending that amount of money in the past 2 years. Chelsea spent that amount of money in one transfer window. Man United spent that amount of money in one transfer window. So why can't Liverpool do the same and spend that amount of money in the next 2 transfer windows? And if we sign Jude Bellingham and like Amrabat and another midfielder, that could really re-galvanize this Liverpool team. Because that back 5 of Trent, Virgil van Dijk, Konate and Robertson with Alisson in goal, that is a solid defense if they have a brilliant midfield ahead of them. Yes, Trent can have mistakes in him. Virgil wasn't at his best. He might be injured or he might be substituted because he was not really good in the first half. So Virgil van Dijk is not immune to criticism. Konate, this was his first game back after the World Cup and he didn't look like 100% yet. But no excuses. If Liverpool's midfield was much better ahead of the defense, then Brentford wouldn't have created chance after chance after chance in the first half. And I mean, if you look at the statistics, let me look it up for you guys, because Brentford created so many chances. They even created more chances than last season when we had that 3-3 draw against them. Brentford had 10 shots, 1.97 XG, so literally 2 expected goals, 7 shots on target. Brentford had more shots on target than Liverpool. Darwin Núñez also scored a brilliant goal, but he was flagged offside, and that was also so annoying, because Darwin Núñez doesn't really need to hang on the shoulder of the last defender, because he's so fast. He could literally give a 1-2 yard advantage to a defender and he could still outsprint them and get first to the ball. And Darwin Núñez, it's clear it is instructed into Darwin Núñez and into the Liverpool defenders and midfielders, when there is an opening, put a through ball into the path of Darwin Núñez so he can run through on goal and create a chance and score a goal. And Darwin Núñez was offside by a tiny margin because he was hanging on the shoulder of the last defender. If he just holds his run a little bit more, then he wouldn't have been offside. And he's finished it brilliantly. In that one time when Núñez finishes brilliantly, he's flagged offside. He's literally the unluckiest striker at the moment in the Premier League. But also later, when it was still 2-1 to Brentford, Darwin Núñez had a one-on-one again with the goalkeeper and he scuffs his shot so badly, it was embarrassing. So Darwin Núñez really needs to find his shooting boots, because a top 4 will be going away from Liverpool. At the moment, Liverpool don't look like they deserve top 4, and if Man United win against, I don't know, I think Bournemouth at home, they are very likely to win, then Liverpool will be, let me check, Man United will have 35 points, so Liverpool will be 7 points behind 4th place. That's a lot, 7 points, especially as Liverpool's form, it looks like, is very up and down. We have won 2 away games in the Premier League all season from I don't know, maybe it was 7 or 8 games for Liverpool. Yeah, 8 games away from home, just 2 wins, 2 draws and 4 defeats. And this is now 5 defeats in the first half of the season for Liverpool. That is really astonishingly bad. That means that throughout the whole season we could lose 10 games throughout the whole season, when last season we only lost 2 games, I think, all season. So it's not good enough for Liverpool, and Jurgen Klopp has so many problems to sort out. I don't even know where he starts with all these problems. Let me know, how do you feel after this defeat in the comments below. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, see you later guys, goodbye.